Hi, I'm Emily, and this is No Expert, and today I have a very special guest. He's a wonderful cake baker, and he's here to make a cake. Aaron Porchia, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So I'm having a potluck, so I thought it would be fun to invite some of my friends who are great cooks, chefs, bakers, to make something. And so Aaron, you're gonna make dessert, right?
I am. I'm gonna make a blueberry lemon mascarpone cake.
Is lemon blueberry a flavor that you've made a lot?
So I decided to start working with these flavors not too long ago because one of my husband's good friends that he met doing dinner theater in Maine reminded me of this awesome lemon blueberry cake that we had when they were working up there.
Yes. Okay, that makes perfect sense. I grew up eating a lot of lemon blueberry like coffee cake in Nova Scotia, which is right by Maine.
Nice.
And so when I saw the recipe, I was like, oh, this is sort of familiar in a way.
Exactly.
I don't make a lot of cakes, to be honest. It's something that I really don't. I don't want to say I don't know how to do it because I've done it a few times sort of successfully, but I've never made a cake that I was like, wow, this is a great cake.
Well, this should be exciting because I make a lot of cakes and I eat a lot of cakes.
Yeah. I'm excited to get to it.
So we're gonna take 3 6-inch cake rounds. If you don't have 6-inch cake rounds, you can use 2 8-inch. That works as well. We're going to rub some butter into the pan.
And at home, would you usually use like spray?
Yeah, normally I would use spray just for the sake of ease.
I don't have any spray. I'm sorry.
But butter also works and also is really tasty. It gives it this nice, like brown butter caramelized flavor going. And then I'm gonna pop this cake round in. I use pre-cut parchment paper.
I was gonna ask.
Yeah, I just found myself with so many scraps of parchment paper in my kitchen.
You live in like a parchment confetti life.
So I'm also gonna go over that parchment paper on top just for some extra.
Yeah, I love this. I feel like this is such like a professional thing where it's like I cannot, like you have to eliminate all the possible places where something could go wrong.
Yeah, like the worst thing in the world is putting all that work into a cake and then it sticks to the pan.
Right.
It's a nightmare. And it happens.
So our pans are prepped. We have all the stuff here to make our batter, right?
Yep.
So what are all the ingredients here?
So for our dry ingredients, we have some cake flour, baking powder, salt, and then over in our wet ingredients, we have some lemon juice, vegetable oil, or whatever neutral oil you have on hand, 2 egg yolks, we have buttermilk, and lemon zest and sugar. We also are going to use egg whites for this recipe as an added leavener, but we're going to get to that later.
Yeah, not just yet. And so you've zested the lemon into here and then given it a little like massage?
Yeah, give it a little massage. If you want, you can give that an extra little massage.
I'll do it right now.
Yeah.
I do this for like when I make scones and stuff. Basically, it's like the sugar is super rough, and so it like rubs the little tiny pieces of zest to like release more lemon oil. So you get more like lemon flavor.
Yeah.
Get it really like infused into the dough, right?
Exactly.
Or batter, I guess. Batter.
Yeah. Batter. No cake dough.
No cake dough. That's wrong.
You've done something wrong if you have dough.
I bring you in here for expert tips like that. So how long have you had the bakery?
So I have been selling cakes since about October of 2023. So it's still relatively new for me. So I'm still learning as I go, but it's been really fun. I am like a cake fan. I call myself a cake fanatic.
Yes.
So baking cakes is the natural job for me.
I love that.
So now that we have that properly rubbed, we are ready to mix our dry ingredients.
All right.
So for the dry ingredients, we're going to add half a teaspoon of salt, and then we're going to add 1 teaspoon of baking powder.
A little extra lift.
Yeah, a little extra lift, so it's not just the egg whites working. Then we'll give that a whisk. So we're going to set that aside and move over to our wet ingredients.
All right.
What I like about this recipe is that the wet ingredients, you're just dumping it all in there.
Love that.
A lot of times when you're making a cake, you have to like cream the butter and the sugar and all of those things, and you're moving things together in like different steps. That's not the case here. You're just dumping everything.
Amazing. My kind of recipe.
So if you want, you can dump the oil, the lemon juice, right into the buttermilk, sorry.
All right. Just me.
I was like, dump it. You have to guess where.
Oil and lemon juice.
And then we'll give that a little whisk. And then you can dump your egg yolks one at a time.
Oh, one of them kind of broke.
Yeah,
that was
one
my
of them
bad.
kind of broke.
Sorry.
No worries. Watch you whisk and watch you nay-nay.
Yeah, exactly. Extracts?
Yeah, let's add our extracts. So we're going to add a tablespoon of vanilla extract.
I love that.
Love vanilla.
Yes,
so
I am
I always add a
A
little bit.
voracious vanilla. Voracious? Is that the right? I love to use a lot of vanilla.
Yes.
Yeah. And then how much lemon extract?
We'll add a teaspoon of lemon extract.
Okay.
I find a little bit goes a longer way with that.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I feel like anything that's like vanilla is one thing, but anything that's like a flavoring,
Yeah.
almond extract, lemon extract, stuff like that, like a little bit really rose water
Exactly.
can really sort of
With extracts, it can taste a little artificial once you add too much.
Yeah.
So we're kind of depending on the lemon zest and the lemon juice to kind of push that lemon flavor forward. So that looks perfect.
Amazing.
So now we're going to add the sugar to this. Okay. Usually I would do it the other way around. I would add the liquid to the sugar, but today we're just going to add it into this vessel.
Okay. All right.
And then we're just going to whisk that until it's smooth.
All right. Do you have any like whisk techniques? Do you have? I feel like when you whisk a lot, your wrist starts to hurt, right?
Yeah, my wrist hurts all the time. Between kneading and whisking and spooning and spatulaing, it's always a little achy at the end of a long bake day.
Yeah, I can see why. I just do this for like 2 minutes. I'm like, ah. Good?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Love it.
So we are going to put these to the side, and then we will whip up our egg whites.
Amazing. So
we are going to whip up our egg whites. We have some reserved sugar. Mm-hmm. It's about a 1/4 cup of sugar.
And what does the sugar do? Does it like...
Just like stabilizes the egg whites.
Cool.
If you start with the sugar in the egg whites to start, they just won't whip up properly.
Interesting.
Yeah. Also,
Science.
one thing that is really important is to make sure that your bowl is very clean and oil-free. If there's any like residual grease in there, it'll stop the egg whites from rising properly.
Wow. Okay, well I hope I did a good job cleaning it.
Oh,
We'll find out.
Good. Okay, so I'm gonna pop those in there.
All right.
So now I'm gonna turn on the stand mixer on a low setting just to break apart those egg whites. And then we're gonna crank it up to about 8. Once they're getting close to soft peaks, we're gonna sprinkle in our sugar. Once the egg whites are at stiff peaks, then we're ready and we're all done. So now we're ready to start mixing everything together.
Yay!
So the first thing we're gonna do is add our liquid ingredients to our dry ingredients and whisk that together. Not too vigorously because we don't wanna overproduce the gluten.
Oh
yeah, you can dump that right in there. While Emily's doing that, we also have our blueberries out. I added a little sprinkle of flour to the blueberries. That'll help them not sink to the bottom of the cake.
Yes. All right. Should this be lumpy or not lumpy?
Yeah, it'll be a little lumpy.
Okay. Then I won't panic.
Now we want to fold in our egg whites. I used to be a very fearful egg white folder. Yeah, I think I kind of am still. I'll let you know when that goes away. So you want to get under and around. You don't have to be as gentle as you think, but you do want to be
somewhat gentle.
Somewhat gentle, exactly. And I usually do it in 3 parts. And a trick that I've heard or learned is that you want to put a little bit in up top, and you can be a little more vigorous with that incorporation, and that lightens your batter.
And then like it's easier to do the next one?
Yeah. Okay, so there are a few more streaks of egg white in the batter. That's okay. This is when we want to add our blueberries in.
Okay.
And we're going to use the same technique for the blueberries.
Okay.
We're just going to fold them in. Fold and fold. That is good.
Gorgeous. All right, and then the last thing we have to do...
Fill our cake pans and then pop it in the oven.
So our cakes are out of the oven, and while they cool, we have to make our frosting.
Yay! I love making frosting. It's like my favorite part.
Yes.
So the frosting that we are making for this cake is a mascarpone whipped cream frosting.
Ooh, love that.
The great thing about mascarpone is that it stabilizes the whipped cream so that it has more structural integrity to hold up your cake and frost and won't just like melt immediately if you were just doing a regular whipped cream frosting.
So cool. Great.
So the first thing that we want to do for this is whip up our cold mascarpone.
All right.
So we have that right here. Add that in here. I love how creamy mascarpone is.
Yeah. What a nice texture.
Yeah, I find myself making this frosting a lot. My husband loves this frosting, especially with like a bowl of fresh berries.
Oh, yeah.
It's super tasty. Okay, so we're just gonna whip that on about 3, just until it's smooth.
Nice. So just a gentle.
Yeah.
And so you started with the cold mascarpone, then you added about half a cup of whipping cream.
Of the heavy whipping cream. And then after that gets nice and smooth, I'm gonna turn up the speed a little bit.
Yeah.
I'll slowly stream in the rest of the heavy cream.
Nice.
So after I mix all of the heavy cream in, I'm going to stop the mixer and then scrape down the sides of the bowl just so that everything is properly incorporated and we don't have any chunks of mascarpone in our frosting.
Makes sense.
So I'm going to turn this back on and I'm going to crank it to high. So after you add all of your heavy cream into the bowl, you're going to whip on high until you reach soft peaks. We're going to add all of our powdered sugar in. And then we're going to slowly build back up to high so that we don't have a powdered sugar cloud. I want to stop just to scrape down the sides again. Once we're at this stage, it comes together very quickly.
Yeah, so that looks like a stiff peak to me.
Yeah, that's a stiff peak. So now we're going to add our extracts.
Alrighty.
And then slowly incorporate them so that we don't overbeat this and get like a curdled butter situation.
Makes sense.
With all that heavy cream. So first we're going to add our vanilla extract.
Okay.
And we're going to add about 2 teaspoons of that.
Excellent.
Just mix in that vanilla.
That's very satisfying.
It is. I love a nice smooth frosting.
Yeah. Stunning.
So now we can add our lemon extract.
Okay.
So we're just going to put a teaspoon of that. Extract. Now the last thing to do, last 2 things to do actually, we're going to add a pinch of salt and then we are going to add the zest of 1 lemon.
Okay, amazing. Do you want to zest and I'll pinch?
Yeah, let's do it.
Bonk. Bonk.
And now we're just going to fold the bonks in. And then we have our frosting.
Ooh, looks good. And that's it. We're
Yeah,
on the home stretch.
We're
here.
almost to the most fun part, or if you're like me, the most stressful part of building a cake.
Yeah, decorating is definitely my weakest point, so I hope that you can lead this charge.
I can pull together something simple and clean.
Yeah, I love that. That's 10,000 times better than what I've been able to pull together. I literally ended up bringing like crumbs to my husband's birthday party because it was just like everything went wrong. I was like brought and I was like, sorry, I love you. Our cakes are cooled, and now the last thing we absolutely have to do is decorate them, right?
Decorate the cake!
Assemble into a final cake.
And it shall rise like a skyscraper into the skies.
Wow, so tall and beautiful.
So many blueberries.
I can't believe they let them build one that blocks the Chrysler building. Okay, so we have our extra blueberries. We have spare blueberries for decoration. We have our mascarpone whipped cream frosting. And we have our cooled cakes in the back here. And you've brought some cool stuff.
Yeah, so I brought a little Lazy Susan turntable cake decorating stand thingy-majiggy. On top of that, I have a little cake round so the cake can sit on it and it's easier to move off of the Lazy Susan once we're done with it. I have some piping bags, some offset spatulas, and some piping tips.
Gorgeous.
For decorating.
Okay, so what's our first step here?
Okay, so our first step is going to be to take a little dollop of this frosting. And we're going to pop it right in the middle of this cake round.
Oh.
And we do that so that the cake doesn't slide around.
Aha.
Also, we taped the cake round to the Lazy Susan so that doesn't slide around also.
Nice.
While it was cooling on the wire rack, I kept the parchment paper underneath so that it wouldn't stick. So I'm going to remove that. You don't want to forget to remove that.
Yes. Yeah.
Take a nice helping of that mascarpone whipped cream frosting.
Gorgeous.
And just coat this. Oh, it's like a cloud.
That is so nice.
So now we are going to add blueberries in an even layer.
Okay.
If you want, you can add them too.
Oh, thank you.
And this is really up to your preference. You don't want to add too many so that your cake is unstable, but the blueberries are going to help to support the cake. But if you add too many like on top of each other, then it will do the opposite.
Yeah, you don't want to make it... I mean, they're round. Yeah, they can turn into little wheels.
The wheels on the cake go round and round.
Round and round.
So now that we have coated this layer with blueberries, we're going to take our second sponge and lay it right on top. And I'm going to flip it upside down so that the flat side is facing up.
Oh, so clever.
I'm going to place that right on top of our blueberries. And then I'm going to go around and fill in these gaps.
Okay.
And start stabilizing this cake. Because we do not want this weeble to fall down.
No.
Because what? Weebles wobble? They don't fall down.
This looks like a giant ice cream sandwich in the best possible way.
And we're just going to scrape the excess. And this doesn't have to be perfect. We're going to go in again. Now we're going to repeat that same step that we did on that first layer. Now we are going to put a layer of frosting on the top. And you can kind of feel it wobbling. If you feel like the cake is getting a little unstable, you can always pop it in the fridge.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, it's like warm in here today. So this frosting is really valiantly holding it together. Yeah,
especially considering that it's whipped cream. It's a very soft frosting.
Yeah.
And because this is like a whipped cream frosting, we're not going to get like super clean.
Right. Yeah. That's not what this is for.
Yeah, that's not what this cake is for.
This is cutesy. This is going to a potluck. Beautiful.
I can do this part all day.
Oh, 100%.
I'm going to stop myself. So I think I'm going to use this piping tip.
Ooh. Does it have a name?
Probably.
Leonard?
I don't know it. Leonard. You know what? I like it. So I'm going to cut the tip of this bag. There it is.
Beautifully done.
So what I like to do is give it a twist like that. Poke it in. Flip out like this.
Ooh.
So I can hold the piping bag. Stick it in there.
I'm really not the strongest with cake decorating and that kind of thing, so I feel like I'm always learning. You know, I'm growing here.
I'm definitely still learning. I've only been like cake decorating for about a year, and I can see the progress that I've made in that year, but it's still, every experience is a learning experience.
Yes, because you didn't do like pastry school or anything, right?
No, I didn't.
You're just an enthusiast too.
I am the biggest enthusiast. I'm gonna pop that out and just squeeze down.
Gorgeous.
Sometimes I like to practice on the side. Do you want to try to do some?
Sure.
On this like piping bag. So I'm debating between just one of these guys or one of these guys.
Oh. Ooh.
So to do this one, you just kind of put it down to the surface, pull up and release.
Okay.
I love how I'm giving instructions like I know what I'm doing.
You certainly know more than I do.
Oh, that looks great.
Was that okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then the other one is like a swirl?
Yeah, the other one is a swirl, and you're just kind of moving up in the same release motion.
I didn't do that one as well, but... Good enough.
Nice.
You go. You do the thing.
I think we should do these ones.
Yeah, I like these. I feel like they're cute.
So now we have our piping. We can add some more blueberries to the top.
So pretty.
Trying not to mess up our piping.
Yay!
And there's our cake. And
She's beautiful.
I'm gonna go back in like I said I wasn't going to do.
Yeah. More edges, more
edges.
When you do that, what are you looking for?
You know what? Jury's still out.
It's ineffable.
But that is our lemon blueberry mascarpone cake.
Beautiful. I love it. I'm so excited to give it a try.
Yay!
Look at this gorgeous fluffy cake.
Yes,
It is tall. It is airy. It is like
creamy, berry.
looks beautiful. What an impressive thing you've made.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for doing this.
This has been so exciting. I'm very happy to share this cake with you.
I am super excited to taste it. And is this something that you would bring to a potluck usually, or?
Yeah, this is definitely something that I would bring to a potluck. Actually, I'm bringing it to another friend's house in a couple days.
Wow, that's awesome.
So this cake is
So
making
perfect.
its rounds this week.
Yeah, it's hitting the road. Well, should we dig in?
Let's do it.
All right. Oh. So lemony.
Very lemony.
And the blueberries are just like juice bombs.
But this is definitely lemon blueberry forward.
Yeah, that is a lemon blueberry cake. It's
For
so
sure.
moist. This is a great cake for like spring, summer.
Picnic vibes.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. If you had a summer birthday, this would be such a good birthday cake to have also.
Yeah, I feel like my husband has asked me to make this for his birthday at some point.
Yeah, 100%. And the mascarpone just like brings like the tang. Sorry, I got excited about the mascarpone. It was like singing in my mouth and I was like, I have to talk about it.
Mascarpone is such an underrated ingredient.
Yeah,
I love
100%.
it.
I feel like it just lifts the whole thing. And like whipped cream, like mascarpone frosting.
Yeah, it's at the top
It's
of my
genius.
frosting list these days.
It's so good. I have to have one more bite. One more bite.
One more bite.
I am so excited for everyone to try it. I know that they're going to love it. Delicious.
Thank
Yay! Erin, this cake is amazing.
Yay, thank you.
Thank you so much for being here and baking.
Thank you for having me.
Where can people find you on the internet?
So you can find my baking Instagram page at Frooty Baker, LEFROOTY Baker, or you can follow my personal page, Porchia, APORCHIA. And you know, bakes also find their way over there too.
Yeah, and I will put links to Erin's social media down below. And people can buy cakes from you, right?
Yeah, if you're interested in buying a cake from me, you can shoot me a DM on my baking page, or you can shoot me an email at lefruitybaker@gmail.com.
If you like this video, don't forget to give it a like. And if you want to see more videos like this and our potluck, which is coming up very soon, you can hit that subscribe button. And I'll catch up with you later. Okay, bye-bye. Bye, I miss you already.